Okay, so belief in Yoli, and the best way to do that is come out to conference. How many of you right now are already committed to coming to conference? Okay, awesome. So we'll talk to the rest of you here at the end of the day. Okay, belief. Okay, so we've got a belief in the company, we've got a belief in the products. Belief in yourself, that's a lifelong pursuit, is it not? We all have room for growth there, don't we? Yeah. Right? We're always working on ourselves. Once we, if we think we know everything, we're toast, right? As soon as you think you know everything. But would you agree with me that having a belief in direct sales, network marketing, whatever, like I said, what do I call it? The best chance for ordinary people to achieve extraordinary success. That's what I call it. You can call it whatever you want. People have to name something, MLM. Some people say pyramid, whatever they want to call it. What I think of it as is exactly what I just said. But wouldn't you agree that most of us could use some help bolstering our belief in the profession of network marketing? Right? Because don't you have people that say, how many of you have people say, oh, you're doing one of those things, I've tried one of those before, it hasn't worked, blah, 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 blah. Right? Have you had people do this before? Yeah. Okay, good. Welcome to the club. Wouldn't you agree that if you have all of our diamonds here, their belief on a scale of 1 to 10 in those 4 categories is at least a 9. It's at least a 9. And I know that because if somebody comes up to Emerson and Leslie say, oh, you crazy, what are you doing? Get a life, da-da-da. What do you think they're going to tell them? They're going to be like, huh? Didn't you see what I just rolled up in? Didn't you see the car? Do you need me to show you my check? It's gonna just bounce right off them. They're impervious to that because their belief is so strong. Wouldn't you all like to have that belief? Wouldn't you like to have that belief? I mean, that really is what it comes down to, because whatever you believe truly is going to manifest itself in your life. Yes. Okay? But, we've all heard this before, right? Things happen twice in life. First they happen where? Here. Then they happen outside. So I have always, for my entire career, had these books sent to my events. Because I know that anybody who reads this book the chances of them experiencing success is going to go up dramatically as their belief in our business, because you've got to have a belief in what you do, gets stronger and stronger. So, we have these books. They are outside on the front desk. They're only $10. So as you're watching this video of Kiyosaki, I don't know how many we have. I don't know if we have enough for everybody here. We probably do, Gene. Walk outside. It's an honor system. Drop a $10 bill on the table. Grab a book. Bring it home. And I'll tell you how strongly I believe in this. She's going already. Look at that. All right. So if you have somebody, how many of you have somebody that you just know beyond a shadow of a doubt, if they saw this, they would just crush it? Right? Okay, but they won't take a look at it now. Right? How many of you know somebody like this? So one of the ways I deal with that is I tell them, maybe they won't show up to a BBP or whatever, I say, I'll tell you what. I'm going to lend you this book. And you read this book. It's only going to take about an hour. You might have to turn off American Idol, and all this other bull crap you're watching and filling your mind with every single night, right? Escapism, right? Not that there's anything wrong with finding a good show. I mean, I happen to think that's inspiring if you like to sing, and it can be like, just not if you're doing it 5 nights a week, right? So I read this book, and if you don't see what I see after you read this book, you'll never hear from me again. I've recruited people like that. That's how powerful this book is. For that really good person. Maybe the thing about successful people, though, in this business, maybe they're a successful doctor, maybe they're a successful attorney, maybe they're a successful executive, with the secretary and the fancy car and the fancy house, and all this sort of stuff. What happens is, first of all, you don't see if they're truly successful financially. Because the vast majority of people on the outside, you don't see the fact that, most people resemble ducks. Do you know what I mean? Ducks, they're kind of calm and cool, swimming on top of the water, but they're paddling like heck underwater, right? Because they're swimming in something called debt. So these people that you perceive, right, as being successful financially, the vast majority of them, it's a show. Because that's how people are in America. Right? You got to have fancy BMW, got to have the Mercedes. You know, and let's face it, just to put a kid through college, you know, is $50,000 a year right now. Probably when we have kids, when Emerson, Leslie, oh my God, $250,000, easy. Think about it. Seriously. So, but a successful person, what happens is, you think, oh, I got this guy, this girl, they're fancy executive, and, you know, they got the secretary. Well, what happens is they get into this, I call it crucible of network marketing, because it's a proving ground, right? And all of a sudden, they're so successful in their real life, they come into, you know, network marketing, they invite their friends, they have no idea what they're doing, they do a terrible invite, because you got to be a bad inviter before you're a decent inviter, you got to be a decent inviter before you're a good. I'm going to teach you how to be a great inviter today, by the way. I'm going to teach you how to bypass all those steps. Okay, but, you know, this person, they invite, you know, their 10, 20 people to their BBP, and one shows up. So all of a sudden, their ego comes crashing down on them. Because all of a sudden they get into network marketing and they're like, wait a minute, where am I? Get me out of this place called hell, right? Because everybody at work is like, yes, sir, no, sir, yes, Mr. So-and-so can see you at Tempe. But they get in network marketing and it's a completely different thing. So just because they're successful on their JOB doesn't mean they're going to be successful in network marketing, because more often than not, they want to go back to that warm bath of corporate America because that's where they're comfortable and that's where they're going to rot out the rest of their life. And I don't mean that to be derogatory. I mean it's a tragedy. It's a tragedy because this is not a dress rehearsal. You got one shot at this thing called life. Now I'm not saying belief in the afterlife and all that stuff. The only life we know about is the one we're living right now. Right? We've got one chance to inspire people, right? One chance. So that being said, another mentor, Robert Kiyosaki, okay, he teaches people something that's never taught in school. It's called it's called finances, right? Most people are never taught how to manage their finances. So one thing that we want to do here at Yoli, because people are starting to make so much money, is we're going to bring people in to talk to you about managing your wealth. Right? Managing your money. Okay, so important. So that's why this guy is so important to listen to. So we're going to watch a quick Robert Kiyosaki video.
Financial expert, educator, successful investor, and best-selling author Robert Kiyosaki